Hi, welcome everyone to this another session that we are doing on healing art. This is a bilateral drawing session where we will be using both our hands to draw. So this is going to be fun and interesting and once again a part of art where you're not trying to create anything beautiful, but you're trying to get into the flow and sort of enjoy the process, right? Because we can always buy any of the artist's work that we really admire and like, and we can always, shop on Etsy for a lot of artistic finds. We can have, I mean, there's no limit nowadays. The world is so connected. But there is so much joy in creating something. And everybody is an artist in that sense, that everybody can touch that joy where they are creating using your hands, using, a medium that you like, even if it is just pencil or chalk or anything. It just takes you in a different, um, totally different frame of mind. So the mind is always like thinking, thinking, thinking. And then when you get too engrossed, now that doesn't always happen if you're trying to learn to draw a particular thing, right? Because sometimes what happens is you have all this pressure that, oh, I'm making a rose, so the rose should look like a rose. And oh, like if five people are making it, and why am I not getting it? This one, maybe it's too difficult. So you get into your mind a lot more than you are in the process of art. But these kind of things that we do, where we are actually using art just as a tool to sort of bypass our mind, or even if you don't want to use that term, maybe quiet our mind or the jumping thoughts that are always coming in and out. And instead, we just get into a state where we are more listening to the subconscious, like more. So this has a calming effect, as you can see, right? Oh, yeah, I am. I am recording. I hope so. We've been having some trouble today because first I joined in and then I went out of the Zoom meeting. I closed it. Then same thing for the recording. So why these two things are happening is what I'm thinking is because we have to do double things today. So if we draw, we'll be using both hands, two tools to draw, two papers maybe, things like that. So everything is a sign. All right. So I don't want to take too much of the time and see if I can share my screen with you and let me know if you're able to see. So are you, oops, sorry. What do you see? Are you able to see my,
We see your presentation, yeah. And you, at least on my phone, yeah.
okay, just bear with me. Okay. So here we are. Bilateral drawing with me. And, oh, sorry. No problem. So basically, it's drawing with two hands. It's an art therapy technique. A lot of times it's used for trauma healing because you have a lot of the trauma is a lot of it is in the mind and they want to take you to your inner space, which is peaceful. So you use a lot of art techniques, and this is one of the things where you use rhythmic, so like rhythmic movements, and then just without thinking. So if I tell you, okay, let's make a flower, let's, first make a circle, then make a petal on the right, then on the left, your mind is in totally involved in it because it has to follow the instruction process step by step. But if I tell you, let's just use our hands, let's just keep going and keep repeating, you sort of get into a rhythm. So that's the beauty of it. And of course, why? Because obviously we want to engage the right brain and the left brain. And so there's a logical and the emotional side, and we kind of want to have a balanced mind. Materials, as I already said, nothing really needed. I mean, you could do it with anything that you have. With paint, sometimes it gets so if you already love, say, watercolor, and you think you can do watercolor using two brushes at the same time, absolutely go for it. But to start, if you have never done this, it's easier to just use paper pencil, colored pencils, pastels, markers, anything that you have handy. Okay, so I'm gonna stop here on this screen and then I want to talk about it, but I also want you guys to start doing it with me or just, so I hope you have more than one paper because this is not, we'll probably need more than one paper or space to just, practice a little. So if you, as long as you have that handy, it's good. And for now, I just would like you to close your eyes and then just do a little grounding practice with me. Okay. So that we are in the here and now. So we forget about all the things that are to be done during the day, all the things that are already done and affecting us in some way. So we just come to alignment. Okay. So let's just do this. So you can close your eyes or you can lower your gaze. If you're in a place where you can put your feet on the ground, then you can. We'll try to focus a little bit on all the sensations that are in the body right now. So whatever is happening. Any sounds that you're hearing, any aches or pains in the body. Let's just have an intention that these are not going to disturb us. So sometimes it's harder to close eyes, so you can just lower the gaze. We're just trying to come into alignment with our body sensations and feelings. First, you can start by focusing on the breath. Not trying to take any particular way, but just noticing the inflow and the outflow. And let's do a tiny body scan where we can just see the crown of the head. Are there any sensations? And just take a couple of breaths here. Just moving down. Feel your eyes, your face. If there is any tightness, just send a gentle message. You're safe. Just be relaxed. Come down to the throat. We hold a lot of stress in the neck and shoulders, so if you want, you can move them a bit as you feel them. If you feel that there is anything which is tight, feel free to shrug your shoulders or move your neck in any which way. You can have your video off, so I'm the only one looking like this. But I am here. I am relaxed. Slowly come down to the heart. Take a deep breath here. Continue down. Grounding it in the pelvic floor. So make sure you know that you are supported by Mother Earth, and right now, if you're on a chair or sofa, cushion, ground, you're always being supported. So deep breath here. hands and feet. Just a grateful thought that so amazing that you are here today. You've taken out this time to try something new, something that you're open to, and you're being creative. So that's wonderful. Okay, with that, when you feel like you can open your eyes. And the next thing that we want to get into is drawing. So we will be trying 3 kinds of drawing. If you want to, I just want to briefly talk about it. So we will be drawing with our eyes closed. In this one, we will be focusing on the body sensations. So that's going to be using both hands while our eyes are closed. And when we are using, so I'm going to stop sharing here and we'll go back to that. But right now, let's go get into the mood because you just had your eyes closed. So I'm going to start sharing again. This time, I'll try to share my second camera. Let's see if you're able to see. Okay. Are you able to see this?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Smita. All right. So I have 2 pencils. I'm going to close my eyes. Okay. First, you don't close your eyes. So, and I'm not going to close mine. I thought I'll just show you. So when I say use both pencils together, it's just like this. We are not really getting into what we are making. Okay. Whatever is coming. So I will just start rotating. Okay. I'm going to close my eyes. I have really no idea what I can't see, but that's not the point. So I'm just okay. So this is not about what you create, but what you feel. Okay. If you want now, I'm going to continue doing that and I'm going to stop talking. Maybe put some music on and you can
Do we
try.
have to like focus on some feeling or something like that, like while drawing?
No, we are just trying to see whatever is present currently. So we start with this because you just had a grounding. So you have sort of reached a um, state where you are currently in your heart and mind. So what we are trying to do is just tap into that. So we're not directing anything, whatever is coming, right? So not thinking about anything, just closing your eyes and just going with your intuition, which is very different than a directed drawing. So for we will be doing that kind of drawing too. We will be directing our thoughts. But the first thing, what we are doing is just coming into the flow. And you can keep repeating on the same paper. It doesn't have to be like you don't have to keep changing the paper. So don't bother about it. We'll do it about for maybe 5 minutes, 3 minutes, something like that. Let's try 5 minutes. And let me see. I'll try to see if I can play some music for you while you do this. Are you able to hear any sound like music?
Yes.
Okay. All right. There you go. Let's close your eyes and you can open them if you want to pick another color or something, but otherwise let's just go. Yeah. Just try to move both hands at the same speed. If it's very slow, let both be very slow. The eyes are closed, so there is no judgment. Only focus on the hands moving, almost in the same rhythm pattern, drawing circles. Do any. You can move your hands closer or keep it going apart. Keep going. Right. So now, all right. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. All right. So how was that for you? I hope you were able to enjoy that experience. So here's what I created. And it's not about what you create, as you would have noticed. It's more about just, if you used a rolling pin, you will know that you can use both hands together, right? There are quite a few things where we equally use both hands simultaneously. So this is kind of that experience, and I feel like it's a lot of school to do that. Anyone has anything to say before we move on to the next one?
Well, I'm surprised to see my bilateral diagram as quite a reflection. It's amazing the shape that it has taken.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a question, Shubhra.
Yes.
Are we supposed to draw just circles or anything you want to draw? Whatever your mind says. Like if you really
Uh,
want to try draw a figure or
So
some.
this bilateral drawing can be done in many ways. So the first one we did, we're not trying to draw anything. We're not
Okay,
listening to the mind at all. We're just going with, because we felt the sensations in our body and we came to a grounding place, and we're creating from there. So we're not.
okay,
Now we'll move on to when we try to make something exactly to your point. Okay.
okay, thank you.
So we'll be doing three things today. We're done with one, and let me share my screen again so I can show you the next thing. Oops. Hold on. Do you still see my second camera probably? All right. Are you now able to see this, right? Okay. So now we'll go to the rhythmic scribbles we did, but here, okay, let me go to the next one since you already talked about it. And oops. So to your point, the next one. So here I have like three things for you. One is tree of life. Tree of life is growth, strength, resilience, right? And then another one is heart, which is emotions. And then butterfly, which is change and transformation. All right, so we can start with the smallest heart. I mean, smallest prompt here, because I thought that that was easy. And then we have the next one, which is the butterfly. We'll try that. And then we try the tree of life. And then we'll be back to this presentation. Okay. So just take a look at these words. When I say heart, we'll be drawing a heart. We'll try to make it the heart shape, not the one you make in bio, obviously, the most popular heart shapes. And then the second one, we will be trying to make a butterfly. These are all symmetrical, right? So they're both same on the both sides. And then the third thing, which is a little more complicated than that, the last would be drawing the tree of life, which will signify growth, strength, resilience. So here you can, if you're drawing, you can think about, the ways in which you want to grow, how strong you are, how resilient you have been. So if you're drawing the tree of life, you can focus on those feelings. Similarly, for butterfly, you can focus on, so while you draw, and I'll have some music on, you focus on the ways in which you have changed and transformed your life the way you wanted. So you maybe had some goals and aspirations, you had some reflections on where your life was going and how you're molding it and how it's changing. It may be in any stage of the butterfly's life process, but you know that you're emerging. So you can have those thoughts. And heart is simply what you're feeling right now is good. So I'm going to stop share and I'm going to go back and share my camera screen. I mean my second camera, so you can see my hand. And this time, the first thing that I'm going to do is take another paper and I'll just turn it on and I'm going to make a heart. So here, for this purpose, you can have your eyes open the whole time. And I am going to use some colored pencils, say pink and a little bit darker. Okay, so same thing, since we're doing bilateral today, we will be using both hands. But here, you know how a heart is. So let me use one hand to draw a heart first. Okay, this is a heart. And now if I want to create both, then I will have a starting point and then I'll go out as best as you can. Doesn't have to be. We try to see if we can make it. Okay, so, and then when I start the music and we're making and you're thinking about or feelings, just feelings of love, gratitude, anything, what is good. So focus on what's good while you draw the heart and fill your heart with love. Yeah. So I'm going to start music again and we will just be drawing hearts. You can draw one heart, you can draw as many as you would like, and you can use any colors. Somebody asked if you can use brush pens, you can. Totally use any medium that you're comfortable with. The only focus is that we try to use both the hands at the same speed if possible. Okay, so I'm going to start the music and let's draw some hearts again for about 5 minutes.
This is with eyes open, right?
This is with eyes open, yes. You can make it bigger, smaller, even if like, you know, and just let's just think about things you're grateful for as we do this. Fill our heart with love for our family, our friends, our pets, our anybody, you know, who's coming to mind. Again, the focus is on the feelings. And the attention is that both the hands are moving. If your mind is thinking about other things, no problem. Simply come back to all that you love and all that you're grateful for. Let's keep filling our heart with lots and lots of love. As much as we can, using both our hands. Only instruction is to keep filling your heart with love and moving both hands at the same time, creating a heart full of love and joy. All right. Okay, I am now going to move on to make a butterfly. You can watch first. If you're still enjoying making the hearts, continue. To make a butterfly, let's just so similar to the heart. We can actually do the heart exactly. So side hearts, maybe one side heart and another side heart. And then bring both together to make the center and then sides. It could be any type. It doesn't have to be exactly mine. Now I feel like, oh, this wing should be bigger. So again, double hearts. This is my double hearts butterfly. Okay. I feel like this one should have one inside. So I'm using both hands. So what's important is I'm using both hands. I could just make simpler shapes also. They may not exactly look like a butterfly, and that's totally fine. So now, if we are comfortable in any which way, to try the butterfly, try it out, think about ways you have been emerging as the person you would like to be in 2025, in whichever ways, by working more on your solar plexus chakra, where you talk about, you stand for what you believe in, that what you're doing more, maybe you are saying your truth more, your throat chakra, your life. What is it, the areas maybe you're working on your health more by taking out time for, walking, exercising, yoga. So the lines, you can see, lines can be straight also. It's just that both the hands are moving. Spheres or circles are something that is everywhere in nature and they come very easily to us. So you can, with in a lot of activities, a lot of actions is always like circular, but it's totally fine to do it. Bye, Smita. Smita is dropping off. Smita, thank you for joining us while you're traveling. All right.
Yes, thank you so much. This is lovely. I'm going to sit and do this calmly tomorrow.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have fun.
Lots of love. Bye.
Bye. Lots of love. You can try this with your kids too. So we'll continue making the butterfly. Again, you can make as many as you want, right? So if you can just do it, this smaller, tiny butterflies too. When we are drawing natural thing, there's nothing wrong anyway. So nature is amazing. So you can draw as many as you like, but the idea is that you continue focusing on ways you have transformed and ways you are open to transforming, whatever stage that may be. Different activities may be at different stages. And once again, it can be, may or may not look exactly the same on both sides. You try to make it more beautiful by going over it again and again. No rights or wrongs. Becoming a beautiful butterfly. I'm coming out of my cocoon in my full glory, and I'm ready to fly. It's okay to be seen in my full glory. I wasn't hiding, I was transforming. And now I'm here. And if you think that your butterfly is not symmetrical enough, that's absolutely fine. The only criteria is to move both hands and try and be in that feeling. Right. Maybe a few more minutes with the butterfly before we move on to tree of life. Forming, I'm changing. I am ready to shine, ready to fly, ready to find my flowers, go out and bloom. All right. So, if you have tried the heart with the emotions of gratitude and filling it with love, you've already tried that. Now, you've also tried to make a butterfly, which is change and transformation. Now, we'll honor how we have always been there for ourselves. You won't be here working on your, self if you were somebody who gave up, right? You have always stood by yourself. So now we'll move on to making a tree, and the tree is going to have roots, which are your core values, your strengths. It's going to have a nice big bark, and then it is going to have all these multiple branches. Now, we're not going to make it very complicated because, again, the task is that we have to use both hands. So, you may have seen a tree of life. It has a lot more roots and a lot more branches. So, for our purposes, we can try to so whatever works for you. So, you can just watch first, maybe, and then so I'll roughly show you what I'm trying to make. Maybe I'll flip on this paper and then I'll move on to the. So I'm going to show a smaller one here. What I am going to do is use both hands and then make two straight lines first. Okay? As straight as you can. Trees are in all shapes and sizes. No pressure to make them straight. or equal or equidistant. Okay, the next is we will try to go out far away. And right now you're just watching, and I can explain it again if you like. Okay, and then come back in a bit, and then out a bit, and then come back in again, and out again, and in again. So we're just making like these tiny V shapes. The main thing is we're trying to use both the hands. That's where it gets a little bit complicated, right? Something like that. The focus is still same thing, bilateral. So even if we were to draw, say one, okay, I want to draw just one branch together. So take both the hands, both the pencils together, go on one side, come back. Okay. This is just a sample I'm showing you. And when you make it, you're just going to, when you're making the roots first, I'm going to go back and make the roots bigger and show you. When you're going to make the roots, just think about your core values, which has kept you rooted always, right? Love, kindness, speaking your truth, right? Showing up, resilient, any of those. So when you do that, and then same thing here, the emphasis is on using both hands and just thinking, right? So how you have stood strong, with the passing time, you have been through it all, standing tall, right? And then, so if you feel comfortable, you can start making the tree. Once again, I'm going to show you how we did it when I make a bigger one. So this is a sample. So if I'm starting on this whole paper, okay, all right. So I'm going to start this again, making the tree. So holding bilateral drawing, so both hands, pencils, doesn't have to be totally equidistant, but we'll try. And then just making two straight lines. Now you can start. If you've already started, no problem. Move my paper. Going on two sides, horizontal lines. These are going to be roots. Coming back in, trying to make multiple roots. Thinking about core values, things you have followed throughout you. It just kept you rooted no matter what happened. Do the best you can. There is no judgment here. You're not critiquing anybody's art. The whole thing is about the process. Now I want to work more on my roots, so I'm going to use both the pencils to sort of fill up my roots together, bring together. You can also feel about things like the ground has always supported you. Your roots have grown over time. So gratitude for all the support that we get. Continue to be rooted. And now, if you're doing both pencils, just Think about how you have stayed strong. Through it all, come what may. Maybe you branched out a bit. Right? Go with the flow. Both hands moving. That's our main criteria. Now that I'm done with the root, done with the branch, done with the soup. Now I'm moving on to the branches. If you find it easier to keep both of these together and just draw like that, and do that. If you find it easier to go in different directions, you can try. No right, no wrong. In all directions. That's your tree of life growing. And if you want to, again, simple leaf shape using both. And try and add some leaves. Nourishing ones, which do the photosynthesis and bring you food. So things that have been watered, giving us a lot to be grateful for. Where are the leaves? So just start drawing leaves again. Can be even heart shape. It's fine. I feel like making some hearts here. Focus on the feeling. How are you growing? Standing tall. You're deeply rooted. You're staying strong, and you're growing. Spring has sprung, and new branches, new leaves, new flowers. How are you growing? How beautiful, right? And if you want traditional blossoms, leaves, whatever is coming to you. The tree is healthy. The tree is full of life. The tree which has a long way to grow and keep spreading and sharing all the flowers, all the shade. Beautiful tree. Right? Okay. So I'm going to stop the music and stop sharing. Hello, back. So I hope you were able to make some art. I'm quickly going to go back to my presentation and then we'll have some reflections. So let's finish what I wanted to share. All right. Since Smita is not there, can one of you unmute and tell me if you're able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I think we were on the previous one before. So we did the drawing with our eyes closed, right? And then that was more like staying in the flow of that minute and just noticing whatever was coming. We were not trying to do anything particular, and we just make scribbles, but we just use both hands. So we were sort of doing also the rhythmic. This is the same thing. You can do rhythmic scribbling with your eyes open also. And you can even use like a huge, huge paper, like really big. Like if you have, sometimes these packing papers come, so there are big papers. And then if you are, maybe you're with a kid, maybe you're like overwhelmed or whatever it is, you can just use both hands. So it just opens you up. Okay. So that rhythmic scribbling is a great thing. Then we use the gestural drawing where we actually created art. So we were aware of what we are creating. And here we went ahead and we went and we made the hearts and we felt our emotions. Then we did the butterfly, where we were obviously thinking about the ways we have transformed and we are transforming ourselves into the beautiful butterfly, which is, happy to be seen, happy to go to any flowers and just fly. That brought us to the tree of life, our growth, our strength, our resilience. And now I just want to, I had this, you can read it, but it's just basically this exercise is the whole bilateral drawing is so that, you're balancing both sides of your brain, which automatically reduces your stress and anxiety. And then self-regulation improvement, of course, like even the hand movements. We just think that, okay, right hand is for this thing, left hand is for this thing. And we actually are actually using both the hands together a lot. We just don't realize it. So bilateral drawing just brings back that idea that both the hands are created equally. You can actually use them both for a lot of things. And this also in turn, since everything is so connected, it also regulates our emotions. So we are able to balance our right brain, our left brain, basically our emotions and our intelligence, like the logical thinking. So enhance creativity, of course, same thing, because you're not thinking. Creativity flows when you're not really, criticizing what you're creating, right? You're open to whatever is coming, you're just enjoying the process, and then it automatically enhances your creativity. And this is used a lot for trauma processing, for PTSD, and a lot of other kinds of traumas. It's used along with a lot of other things, the bilateral drawing. So you can try it out for anything that is stressing you out. For me, I think it's just like just like I like the journaling practice. You have these lots of papers which are just like recycled paper, and you can just use a bilateral drawing on it. So why not? I'm a big uh, believer in like saving Mother Earth, so not use so much. All right. So thank you so much for being here. I hope you really enjoyed. Newspaper. Yep, you could do. You could do the newspaper too. No problem. Any paper is fine. Oh, Puneet was here too. I didn't even realize. Thank you. Puneet says session was very calming. Okay. Now it's just me and you guys. I would really love to hear what you have to say or show. Anybody? Oh, thank you, Veena. Veena says it was refreshing. Pratiksha, I can see your art. Would you like to unmute and say something?
Yeah, I've actually got a lot to share.
Oh,
It's
wonderful.
it's it's so exciting, Shubhra. The strange thing is, about 3 or 4 days ago, I was on Instagram and I saw a course about bilateral drawing. And since then, I was thinking, okay, let me just go online and just look up what it is. It's so exciting. I would love to use both my hands and do something. And for some reason, I've had spondylitis. I've not been able to go online and look it up. And
Mm.
when I read your post, I was like, sounds like the same thing. And then it so happened that I was supposed to go out today, but I didn't. And 20 minutes ago, I just started collecting my supplies and I joined.
Oh,
I
wonderful,
can't tell you,
Pratiksha. Wow.
this has been one of the most calming, interesting, freeing, and most enjoyable sessions I've ever attended. Honestly
Oh,
speaking, it's really
thank
been
you.
totally enjoyable.
Well,
This was
I'm
this
so
was
glad.
the scribbling that I did. And
Yep.
my hands were actually in this. Sometimes they would move together, sometimes they would move in the opposite direction. So
Hmm.
it was kind of fun. And even when we were doing the other part, this is what I made.
Beautiful.
So
I
it,
said we'll not critique. I'm sorry, but it is beautiful.
thank you. And
Yeah.
it was so strange. I've actually had trauma relating to drawing and coloring. It's something
Hmm.
that I really enjoy, but in my childhood, I've always been, told to be a perfectionist. The color should
Hmm.
not go out. There should be no white in the painting and all that. So
Hmm.
I've been doing a little bit of coloring every day for the past few days. And today, when I started, I was a bit scared. I said, "Oh my God, if I'm going to criticize what I'm doing, it's not going to be fun." But for some reason, it just flowed so beautifully.
Yeah.
I'm finding it surprising that I'm telling myself I've loved what I've done. And I've
Yeah.
also discovered how much more my left hand can move. I've tried writing with my left hand earlier. I
Mm-hmm.
do it to some extent, but what I could do today actually surprised me. So I
Yeah.
can't believe I've done this, and
It's
I'm so
amazing.
happy that I'm liking what I made. So that is the best part. I didn't go into anything about what the roots denote, what the branches or anything denote. I was totally 100% in the process, enjoying it. And
Wonderful.
honestly, this is going to be one of the best sessions that I've ever
Oh, thank
attended.
you
So
so much. Thank you. I'm
so
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 glad.
so much love and thanks to you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm like goosebumps just listening to the synchronicity that you. I had not even decided that I was going to do bilateral drawing. I only decided on Thursday that let's go with it because I was going to do another session on journaling. Then I thought, okay, we just did the journaling one, so let me not do that. And so it's
I'm
amazing.
so happy you decided to do it. I'm thrilled actually.
That's amazing. Wow, the ways in which universe works. It's so amazing. Wow. Well,
Thank
and
you
it's
so much.
beautiful. Thank you for sharing. And I'm glad that you were able to reach the flow. You don't necessarily
Yes.
have to think about things always. So that's amazing.
Mm,
That's amazing.
that's true.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Pratiksha. Thank
Yes.
you. Who else would like to share? Uh,
Sunita here. I
oh,
just
okay.
shared my picture. Similar to what Pratiksha just said, it was so wonderful to. This is my first time ever using my left hand to write, and discovered the symmetry with which your brain works. I'm surprised.
Yeah.
Uh, and for guiding us through our honoring our emotions and
Yes.
change and transformation, and rooting on our the strength and the resilience that stays within us. So that was wonderful, Shubhra. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunita. I'm glad. You discover that what all you're capable of, right? More and more. You just think, okay, no, I don't. I'm a right-hander. I don't write with left, but you can. And this was your first time trying it?
Yeah, first time with my left hand ever. So
Oh,
I'm
wow.
surprised, and like I want to do more now.
Wonderful. If you feel comfortable, please do share in the interactive group what
I,
you
I
made.
did. I did.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Moving on to you, Anhad. I think you were raising your hand, right? So, yep. Hello, Anhad and Bhavna.
So Anand is here.
Hi. What did
Anand
you
is
make?
yours. So this is what she did. Close a little.
Ooh, it's a nice abstract. It's wow. A lot of colors.
So this she did, and the other one she give me the khana ek. Acha, abhi nahi, okay. And I did this,
I see. That's the first exercise, right?
the first one, and the
Beautiful.
second I was just concentrating on one and the layers of the one. So this is what I
Ooh,
did.
wow. Yep. Which medium were you using?
This is the pencil colors
Okay, nice.
and
It's
the
very
shape.
bright and happy colors. Very nice. Very
I did
lovely.
next
Really
light is.
lovely. I always look forward to that if it's an art session, Anand is going to show up.
And Anhad has made this while I was doing that.
Oh,
With
nice, Anhad. I love the hearts. Very pretty. Very pretty. You soon realize you can do anything. Just the only thing is you're using both hands. So that's the key part of this particular
yeah,
exercise.
this is the first time I was trying with my both hands. And I didn't have the same colors. So yeah, it was like
But
Mixed.
you were able to get into the flow, right? With both?
Yes, it
That's
was. Although it
wonderful.
was like collapsing, well, like both were in like interlocking each other's wood. But anyhow, I think that's one of the
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
a new experience.
Thank you so very much, as always, like for bringing something different out.
Oh, I'm glad, Bhavna.
Thank
And
you.
Anand both. Anand enjoyed it, so that's good too.
Yeah, she was asking why are they not doing any colors? Why are they not doing any mandalas? So I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah, we will continue, beta. We'll always continue with these things in between. These are just practices. You can do them anytime, right? You
yeah,
have
yeah,
pencil, two pencils, two pens, one paper. That's all you need. That's it.
like everything you have like done with us, like the art forms, like mandala papers are still there at my house, like, and
Oh,
some place and picks it up and she starts coloring it, like so.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
will show you like 10 different kind of mandalas in my house.
Beautiful. Please do share in the interactive group. We would love to see that. Share the
Definitely.
pictures. Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
या अच्छा उसने बर्ड भी बना दिया भाई आप लोगों के लिए सो आप जो भी
Oh,
पहचान
nice. Lots of birds. Very nice. See, you can do the V shape. Well, beautiful. Thank you so much. Now she'll continue. And it's very good for balancing and developing the brain as well. So it's cool. All the kids should also try it. Yeah. That's wonderful. Thank you. Who else would like to share? Hi, Sudha. I see you.
Hi. So for me, I mean, while I have in the past kind of done bilateral drawing,
Mm-hmm.
but what I kind of got present today was how to just being present to both the hands, and doing it at the
Mm.
same time actually brought me more into the centered, and also that there is subtle nuances of how the
Mm. Your voice is breaking
there,
for
the
me.
right and how the left thing my yeah, I'm just going to switch my video off because the
Yeah.
internet connection is unstable, is the message I
Yeah.
got. Is that okay?
Yeah. 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 Go ahead.
Yeah. So,
Do share.
while I was doing it, like, so when, for example, the heart, when the artist in me wants the perfection, but as I just not more than concentrate, I just let the flow to my fingertips and let them flow with what it is. The only word that came was love. It was not even any other memory, it was just that word.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in time, both the fingers were moving with the same pressure and ease and flow, and as if like they were dancing with each other, So for me, that was a very pleasurable experience, just to do that. And for the
Wow.
butterfly, uh, again, it's just, I love the imperfection even in the way it is, it's just like, oh wow, they look like butterflies. There is a certain symmetry. So I'm even appreciating something
Yeah.
um, that's there where the critical mind can come to judge it, right?
Yeah.
And then it's just allowing, it's as if the child in me was given permission to just
Yeah.
flow with it, right? So I could see this part of me which is the critical and the judgmental, which says, no, you got to be, versus to say,
Mm.
hey, it doesn't really matter. Can I just be present and flow? And it was amazing just that how concentrated the mind, the breath became in that moment, and the activity was not as important as who I was in that activity. So thank you so much.
Wow. I'm just taking your words in, and that's exactly the essence of what we wanted to do. And I'm so glad that you all, you experienced that because it's just about letting go of all our judgment. Because when with art, a lot of judgment comes. I should look like a eye, flower should look a certain way, everything, right? And this is just amazing that you were able to reach that flow state. And this is a very quick way to get into the flow state. Like you
Yeah.
can, this is, anytime you can get into it. So thank you
Yeah.
so much, Sudha. I'm glad,
Thank you. Thank you.
glad to hear
Yeah.
that. Hi, Sonali. I
Yeah,
see you
hi.
there.
Actually, I so very much wanted to attend today, but I missed it. But you
Oh,
will send the recording, right?
Yes, yes, I will. I will.
Yes, so I'll be able to only do it later on, but whatever bits and pieces I joined late just
Uh-huh.
to find out what's going on. And I think it sounds very interesting. So I'll definitely try. And
Yeah,
if I have any questions, I can post in the group, right?
absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I know I've heard about the bilateral a lot that because I used to be a teacher myself, so for children it's very good
Yes,
for
yes,
like balancing for the whole brain thinking, I think.
yes, yes,
Right?
completely. Yeah.
Right, and it also works for trauma, as you
It
were
works for
explaining.
trauma. Yes. And it also works for, as somebody was mentioning when they were sharing, right? The inner child in you who was told not to do it a certain way, to break through
Yeah,
that, um, what is it called? The belief, the limited belief that it has to be this way. You
yeah,
break
it's
through
like
that
going.
limited belief and you open yourself up to imperfections, to seeing and hearing what is coming from inside. So that's why we did the centering a bit in the beginning, which you missed. So we did the centering a bit. So we came in our feeling and we first drew with our eyes closed.
Okay. So all that is in the recording, no? That
Yes, yes, yes,
okay. I'll
absolutely.
definitely do it and I'll post my experience after because I
Sure.
really, really wanted. I mean, many sessions which you post, like,
Yeah,
they sometimes it's not possible to attend. And
yeah.
in the journaling or something last time, you had done
Uh-huh.
one, right? So,
Yeah.
but then these recordings, like, they are there, right?
They
Or
are
they
there on
all
YouTube.
in.
Yeah, they are forever there on YouTube. So feel free
Then
to
it's fine.
visit any number of times and share with anybody who you think would like
Yeah,
also.
definitely. Thank you so much for this platform actually where we can experience even little bit of
Yes.
whatever is like holistic and like good for our
Yeah, things
soul
that you
basically.
can do any day, anytime.
Yeah.
You have 10 minutes, you can just focus on your breathing for 1 minute and just
Mhm.
have a pen and two pens, sorry, or two pencils and a paper, and that's it. You're good to go. You
Okay.
can time yourself for 10 minutes rather than, um, going into the see if you have to take even I mean I tried for if you have to take a big decision and you're not able to decide, right? It's very
Mhm.
easy to just keep going on in your head about it rather than do
Mhm.
something like this. And then
Yeah,
that
and even
brings you
when
to your actual feelings. And after those 10 minutes, in my experience, you will be able to decide better. Like they
yeah,
say,
I
right?
mean,
Sleep on it. If you don't have time to sleep on it always, then you 10 minutes,
you
you
can
can
draw
do that.
on it,
Draw on it. Yeah, yeah. With no intentions. Don't
right?
think about the problem.
Exactly.
Just do it. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Right, right.
All right.
So I think I mean, if you daily just set aside these 10 minutes to try it, like,
You can.
with respect to anything, whether it
Yeah,
could be even if you are like stressed because of something and you can just kind of, express yourself, went
yeah.
out in a way, right?
You can also, like we did, you can also do it in the morning practice as a gratitude thing. So when we were drawing the hearts, we were doing is just filling our heart with love, filling with gratitude. So it can be to get out
Yeah.
of a situation where you don't want to think you are anxious. It could be just to cultivate more love and gratitude. It could just
Mhm.
be to just get to a how like if you have to go suddenly, you cannot just drive a car if you have not learned how to drive a car, right? So this is more like if you do it on your regular days, then when you are stressed, when somebody else is in that situation or you are in that situation, you're able to grab this tool and you'll remember. Otherwise, we won't remember to do these things. So that's why
Yeah,
we
yeah.
try to bring you guys like different things which we can, reach anytime and we can um, rely on. But if you practice on your normal day, as you said, as a practice a little bit, then it'll come to
Mhm.
you. Otherwise, you'll be still tense and you will not remember that you could do.
Yeah, like you
And
have
we are
to
so much more capable of actually balancing our own emotions.
Yeah, it's a toolkit, like I mean
Yeah,
emotional management toolkit or
yeah,
something. It can
yeah.
be one of the tools.
We
Yeah.
should we should have a session on a toolkit. Like, what should we carry in our bag? Two
Yeah,
pencils, a
yeah.
paper, and
I
whatever
mean,
else
all
there.
what we have done till now, I mean, there are
Yeah,
many
what all grounds
things.
us.
Thank you so much for this, and I'll definitely get back to you.
Thank you, Sonali. I hope you enjoy the recording when I share it.
Sure.
All right. Anybody else? Veena, you want to say something?
Hi, Shubhra. I'm just very, very happy to see you
Me too.
after ages. And then I'm
Yeah.
actually very proud of the way how you are conducting these sessions. All I know was that you are a great artist. When I was telling my husband, I have a session today with Shubhra. Oh, Shubhra, she's a very good actor. That's all he remembers about you. And yeah, I mean, you are connected to that. I mean, today, so I'm just so proud the way you conducted the session, and you're connecting the art with your art. You're a great artist. That's all. That much I know. And then you're connecting with this
Feeling.
healing and all of the stress sessions. It's just very happy to see you there. And today this is my first time attending, and I was only and only focusing on your instructions. So I really don't have much to say, but then I like art. When you said it's going to be along with drawing, then I thought I should make it. And then I'm glad I did. I really liked the session. But then I don't know, my thing would be just really basic. I just did this
Oh,
initially. Initially, I
nice.
was starting off with a regular pencil and a crayon. I didn't find color pencils on time, but
Have
then
you go
yeah,
have you gone to MoMA?
so this one on one side, and then
Yeah,
when I opened my eyes, the paper was the other, or like this. I don't know when it turned, and
yeah,
then I was doing some strokes and random things. So
yeah.
this was just following the instructions, and then the hearts and butterflies
Oh,
were
yeah.
also following the instructions. But then where I actually got the connection was the tree. When you said that the
Hmm.
roots, you think about the roots, how rooted you are, and how you're connecting the art with the concept was something really amazing. While drawing, I was just thinking about where I come from, and then what are my roots and how grounded you should be, and all of these things. So I really don't have so much of that connection because I was genuinely following the directions and enjoying the session. But then probably next time I'll have more connection and then say better things. I'm just
No, no,
so
no.
happy to
I
see
think
you and so proud of you.
thank you so much, Veena. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that you came because when we don't come, we think like, okay, it is for somebody else. What will we do there? But if you come once, that's why I was encouraging you to just come once and see. You will feel, okay, I'm at the cost of sounding proud, but I'm just saying I have not had any single person come to any of my sessions and go worse off than they came. They feel they always, because that's what it's not about me, it's about the art, right? So you do something, you create something, you're always going to feel better.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm so happy that I could make this session, and then I'll try more,
sure,
more of
totally.
such
We
things.
have
Thank you.
all the
I'll follow.
recordings of the previous sessions also on YouTube. I'll share you some links. Otherwise,
Hmm.
just go to Beeson Studio on YouTube and we have all the sessions, art sessions, meditation, and others. So, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank
you. Bye
you. I
bye.
hope to see you again.
Yes, of course. Yes. Thank you,
Thank you,
Shubhra.
Veena.
Bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, anyone else before we close? Thank you so much. You guys have filled up my heart because the whole intention, and I'll share the PDF so you have that, whatever we talked about is already in the PDF, the presentation. So I'll just share it just in case it helps anyone. Feel free to share it. And anybody else? Anita, were you able to try it out? Or anyone else? Hey, Anita, would you like to unmute? No. I know Anita had a lot of work, but she just joins on the side always. Shri, Varsha, Neha, I hope you guys enjoyed the session. All right. Okay, let's take one moment of just quiet and just take one deep breath, being thankful for the experience today and hoping that we can get in touch with and balance our mind and, without judgment can create. So let's just take that feeling with us. Thank you for sharing your energy with me and your time. And I'm very grateful and feeling really happy that a lot of you were able to try something new and then were able to do something which was a tool in your toolkit to calm you whenever you need to. All right. Bye. We'll see you next week with something. Thank you. Bye.